headset, make sure it's all picking me up. Make sure that the audio is working as it should. Bus station. So today we're going to tell you a little bit about what we do when we take on a new centre, the sort of things that we look for, take you on a walkthrough and show you the opportunities. This will be a very new centre that we've just taken on, and hopefully it'll give you a bit of insight to what we do. Today we're going to be looking at the Strand. This is a Strand we only take on in the last number of weeks, so very, very early days for us, but it's a really interesting project because there's a lot of development work going on. Talk a little bit about that and the plans of Sefton Council, and we're as a company having to move and adapt according to the development of the site, which adds some additional challenges, but we're up for it. So we're going to take a little bit of a walk around, but there's a lot going on here, so a lot to take on board, but we'll talk a little bit about the sorts of things that we're able to do during this transitional period. So let's go. So as we go through, you can see there is a lot of strategic voids. So this is where stores are closed in order to aid the development. They remain in place, the core offers such as the post office, and as we go down further you'll see how the centre suddenly ends and doesn't continue beyond. So as we come to the end of it, this used to be a mall at one point, which is now hoarding. So as you look through the window, you'll see the level of development that's going on here. Some really exciting plans, and it's heavily invested in by the local authority. But as you look out the window, you'll see lots going on. So first thing we do is start to look at existing activities and then look at new opportunities. So we've come in nice and early. One I think is open, so allows us to walk around freely. So we look at the incumbents, look at the size of them, ensure that they're in line with fire regulations, ensure that they're in line with their licence agreements. If they're not, what we won't do is jump all over them. What we'll do is we'll work with them closely in order to try and create the right proposition. But as we keep walking down, there are a few things we've been able to do, which is improve the coin-operated ride operation, because that stuff is pretty malleable. We can move in around the centre as things occur. And hopefully work with the businesses on their aesthetics and looks of things. So that's one of the first things we're able to do. What we certainly don't do is, when we come into centres like this, is just rack up everyone's rent in order to achieve the objective. Our growth is all due to new business coming in. So what we want to do is cultivate what's here, develop it, grow it, hopefully, make sure that it's compliant, and then add to it. And that's the plan. And with here, and as you'll see on the images that are popping up, the centre is going through a huge development. So we've got to be able to take things, move them around and adapt, and work very closely with the local authority and with New River on developing this site. Okay, so further on the walk here, just running through some of the things, considering we've only been here, I think about 2 months, give or take. So the mobile phone kiosk that you see in the background, we've already agreed a new design, new setup, and look for that in order to start to improve the look of that in line with the development of the centre, which sounds a little bit contradictory because the centre is still in its phase of development. But we want to work to get our traders up to a position when the centre is done, when it's ready and vibrant, or more vibrant, that it is ready to trade and is in line with the new aesthetics of the scheme. As well as the mobile phone kiosk, we've already got another couple of activations coming in here and at the back there. That should be between the next 6 to 8 weeks. So we're working them on design, look, feel, and we're using various procurement methods. Using some of the old methods where we go out physically. We've already been out to a number of shopping centres within the region over the last couple of days, but we also use a lot of digital community and AI now. We have a new system which we'll talk about. I can't talk about too much because the team will have my head. So, but it's a really clever system that will allow us to procure business fast, quickly and efficiently. And that's how we're able to, when we pick up new centres, able to grow them between 25 and 35% on the current position. It's not through magic, it's through a combination of hard work and data-led information. So this is another small area that we look at is additional income over and above the kiosks. So up here on the wall here, we've got 3 new kiosks, apologies, 3 new vending units coming in. And they'll be located up here. One's food, one's drink, and one is a variable beauty vending. So it doesn't have just lashes, it has other associated products with that. And that will just enliven this area, add a little bit more vibrancy to this, hopefully add a little bit more income to the client. But it's those small things that will add additional value to this, to the property, to the landlord's income, and also to hopefully the customer experience. So once again, this is another example within a very short period of time that we've been able to make some shifts and changes in aesthetics. So this unit here has been here, I think, for, let's call it 8 years. It's been here a long, long time. And we've already agreed new design, agreed the new layout, ensured that it's compliant, and it's going to completely change the look and feel of this. Again, this will all fall in line with the development of the scheme, which we want to make sure that the offer that we're producing is in mirroring that. So even though it's not there yet, we want to make sure that our clients and our traders are ready and able to be part of the new environment without having to buy new kiosks in 2-3 years' time. So hopefully that's given you a bit of insight into the sorts of things we do without lading you with too much information. But broadly, when we take on a new centre, we look at the current layout, we look at who's there, how it's performing, how we can improve that, how we can add value relatively quickly, and then we look at the longer game. The game of this isn't about squeezing rent out of our existing business, it's about adding new ones and improving the current crop. We want people to stay long term. We have an occupancy rate around 80% in our portfolio, and that's because we work very closely with both our landlords and our clients. And so, as I say, it starts from the moment that we're appointed. We understand the demographics, the local people, what's happening within the scheme, and here is quite complex, but yet we're able to pivot and work within that. So hopefully that's given you a reasonable insight into what we can do and how we do it, and that's it. So today we're going to, or I'm going to tell you a little bit about what we do when we take on a new centre and how it is that we develop the opportunity. Let's redo that, makes sense. So here we are in the Strand in Sefton, sorry. And this is why we grow, and those will be located up the Mall. We look at new opportunities, we look at the potential, let's get this right.